is a new format called the Room Pacer. What you're going to have is 12 different exercises, and there's going to be every single person in a horseshoe. Notice how we have a line there, a line there, and a line all the way down there. That way every single person can see each other. Now, why is it called the Room Pacer? We're going to show you each and every exercise and how to fail. As soon as that person fails, that exercise is done. That first person fails. And then that person is going to have a little penance during the next exercise. So our first exercise that we're going to have is a thruster. Now, everybody has done thrusters. We're going to show you the correct way, and it has to be this way. If they don't do this, they fail, and they're going to pay their penance. Start with the plate up, right here, chest level. Notice how the elbows touch the knee. Again, I will repeat, touch the knee. At any point in time, there's people who don't touch their knee. That person has failed, and that exercise is done. This person is going to pay the penance and has to run, sprint in the front of every single person until that next exercise is done. Now, as soon as that next exercise is done, they can fall into the ranks and start competing and trying not to be that room pacer. Now, after your thrusters, it is now going to be bicep curls. Now, in the past, we've allowed you to use a split stance. Not today. Notice how he has that strong core? He's not swaying his body. A lot of times when people start to get tired, they start to lean back. They start to use their body to assist on the bicep curls. That is failure, and you have to pay your penance and run for that next exercise. Now, right here, next exercise is tricep extensions. Again, we're not going to allow that split stance. You bring that plate all the way overhead. You point those elbows up. You notice how his elbows are right here close to his head. If those elbows start to flare out, or you start to sway your body, again, that's failure. Stop, make that person run, and let everybody move on to the next exercise, which is burpees. Burpees today is going to be a full burpee. Again, your hands are going to come off the ground. You touch your chest. You bring your hands off the ground. So at any point in time, they don't take their hands off the ground, or they don't go all the way to the ground. That person's out. They have to run and pay their penance. Next exercise is bent over rows. With your plates, you're going to start in that hinged position all the way down. You notice how his head is pointing right where his chest is. He's pointing it, pulling that plate into his belly button. Now, as soon as they start to reset those shoulders or they relax that posture, that person's out. Make them run. Next, we're going to be moving on to jump tucks. Now, with this one, this is more of an exhausting exercise. We want to make sure that they're actually tucking. What happens if they don't tuck? They start to get lazy. They start to take that jump out. They start being not quite as crisp. That's when they fail. That's when they move on. Now, if they can't quite do a jump tucks, we do have a box to do box squats. But keep in mind, if you do box squats here, the next exercise is box squats. So you have a higher probability of being that person that fails. Now, how are we making sure they do this exercise correctly? Notice how he touches. Watch this set of boxes move with each and every person. If they don't touch, they're out. They run. Next exercise is the dying cockroach. You're going to be on your back with this one. Your hands and legs are going to be up in the air. Your shoulder blades are off the ground. You're contracting those abdominals. Now, at any point in time, those shoulder blades come down, your feet come down, you have to take a break. Again, failure, you're out. Get back to running. And then our next one is going to be jump lunges. Again, this is more of an exhausting exercise, but make sure they have 90 degree in the front, 90 degree in the back each and every time. If they choose not to jump, they have weighted lunges. Again, 90 degree in the front, 90 degree in the back. At any point in time, they start to just shuffle their legs. They're out. Move on. Next one, we have push-ups. With push-ups, again, we're going to take those hands off the ground to get full range of motion. That way, you as a trainer can actually see and determine who is doing that complete and total push-up. And then we're going to stay down there. We're going to have planks. Another exhaustive exercise. Right there on those elbows. Notice how it is. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, pretty much straight in line. One thing you'll see a lot is those hips will come up or those hips will sag down. If that happens, you're out. Run. Move on to the next one, which is jump squats. So with this, you're looking for a 90 degree bend in those knees. You get all the way up. You use those hands. Now if you don't want to jump, we got the box for you one more time to do box squats. Again, make sure they touch. Now your true Spartan today is going to take the thruster movement. We're going to grab that plate and we're going to do a weighted squat hold. Now you notice how the elbows are touching the knees. This is just for accountability. If this person comes up, they're out. And you have to hold it the whole time. Now you notice how he tipped forward like that? That's out as well. Now with this one, ladies, you can use a 25-pound. Men, you have to use a 45-pound. And again, the person who holds it the longest is the true Spartan of the week. I'm Brian. Let's jug. And we are Sparta!